Hello, welcome back to the Orlando Adventures podcast. I'm your host, Russ, and today we've got another extra special guest joining me on the podcast today. We have got Sarah from Orlando and Me. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I just wanted to clarify: is the page Orlando and Me, or is it Orla and Me? Is it which is it? Is it which one is it?
It could be either, I suppose. I suppose it's Orlando and Me, but it's just because my daughter's called Orla. It's a bit of a play on words, so
yeah.
That's why I've put like the full stop after Orla in Orlando.
Yeah. Exactly. To be fair, it works well. It looks good, and
Thank you.
I'm sure you get this a lot. Like, I'm just gonna I'll ask it straight away. Like, is Orla named after Orlando?
No, she's not. I get that all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it must get constantly.
Yeah, I do, and it's funny because I didn't even think about it. It was just a name that I liked. It's an Irish name, and her dad has kind of Irish background, so it sort of went well. But it's not until she was born and people on Instagram were saying, "Oh, is she named after Orlando?" And I was like, "No."
Just a happy coincidence. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, awesome, lovely. Well, it's a lovely name as well. So who is Sarah?
I am 30 years old. I live in Cambridgeshire, obviously with my daughter Orla. She's 2 years old. And like everyone that comes on your podcast, I love Orlando and Disney.
Yep, fantastic. And I suppose you make Instagram content, you make TikTok content as well, a lot more now, don't you? So what kind of made you start your social media channels then?
So the Instagram, I started that in 2018. I was getting married to my now ex-husband, and we were getting married in Orlando.
Okay.
So leading up to that trip, I wanted to kind of document getting married over there, and we had our honeymoon at the same time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted a place to put all the pictures and talk about the wedding, so I didn't have to put it all on my personal. And you know what it's like.
Absolutely.
You don't want to bombard people that just don't understand and don't have any interest in Disney holidays or Orlando holidays.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, it was just a place to put everything on there.
Yeah, nice. I know exactly what you mean. And obviously having, my own page and other people having this conversation as well, just the try not to bombard people with Disney and Florida content constantly. Exactly. And to be fair, and I always say this, I and I'll keep saying it, but this community of people in this kind of Disney and Orlando community is amazing. So it's so nice to kind of have it all in one place, that we've all got this passion for this one thing.
Yeah.
And really nice place to put it all.
It is amazing. And it's such a if you know sort of topic. People that have never been or just aren't that interested, they don't understand, do they? And they
it's so difficult. Yeah. It's and I'm sure you've had it as well, and it's you try to talk to people about it, and it's just they kind of don't get it, and then it's you've got to go, and then when they do go, they get it, and it's that's why we all kind of get sucked into it, and we that's why we all keep going back.
Exactly. I've had people that I used to work with that would be like, "Oh, I don't have kids, so I'm not going there," and it's but it's not just for kids.
And to be fair, we'll absolutely get onto that in a minute as well, because there's obviously, depending on your situation or the group you go with, the age of people with you, your trip changes every single time, which is amazing. Did you have any inspiration necessarily to start your page as well? Did you have YouTubers or other content creators that you kind of took inspiration from?
Not so much the Instagram. I don't think I knew anyone really on Instagram. I didn't realize it was such a big community. And I've made some of my best friends I've made through that Instagram, which is just amazing. I never thought it was going to be like that. So that was really good. I mean, I did and still do watch vloggers. I know everyone says this, but it is Tim Tracker. It is always
Yeah,
the
he's the
person
legend
to
though.
mention.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is, yeah. So I watched a lot of his. Who else was one of the early ones? There was a family. I don't think they do it anymore. And I don't know if you or anyone listening has ever heard of them. They were called Redhead Productions or something like that. Redhead something.
Yeah, I don't
And
recognise it. Go on.
they did it years ago, and they were the first, even before Tim Tracker, they were the first like family. They were just a big family
Yeah,
that literally just vlogged their trips. And I remember they stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, and that was such like a dream of mine to be able to stay there. And yeah, they were the first videos that I watched. So it would be interesting if anyone else knows who I'm about.
It's as much as anything. It's why I always ask this question, because it's like I appreciate we all say Tim Tracker. I think that's a given, but like it's always fun to find out like other YouTubers that everyone's kind of watched and has kind of like grown up with a little bit as well, because there are so many, and it's always fun to get a different point of view as well. I love it. That's why I always ask it.
Yeah, and some of the other like popular ones like Eleanor Dreaming and Crispy S'more. You know, I don't, especially Crispy S'more. I don't think they do it anymore. But
no, they were some of the OGs. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that I used to watch. Lizzie Gines. I watched a lot of hers. She's still about on Instagram, and I think she does still do a bit of vlogging as well. But I talked to her on Instagram. She's a really lovely girl. But yeah, I started watching hers a long time ago as well, so she was one of the early ones for me.
Yeah, awesome, love that. How are you getting on with like the TikTok side of stuff? Because I haven't delved into that world yet.
Yeah,
I'm a bit scared, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. I was as well, and I was really like stubborn about joining TikTok. I thought, it's for kids. Like that's what I thought. It's for the younger people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started getting into it. It was only last year. I started just watching like recipes and things on there, really.
Yeah.
So nothing to do with Disney or travel or anything. And then that kind of creeped in, looking at just short little travel TikToks and Disney TikToks. And I just put some random stuff on there.
Yeah.
That wasn't even linked to Orlando. And then it kind of evolved to putting Orlando stuff in there, and that does quite well on TikTok.
Yeah, that's fantastic though.
And I quite enjoy doing it as well. And it's a bit of an addiction. And it's a lot, it's very quick to do. Like I don't put that much on Instagram anymore. And I've kind of moved over to TikTok because it's a lot more chilled, and it doesn't have to be as like polished like on Instagram. I think there's a lot of like pressure to make your photo look, really good and doing what everyone else is doing, where TikTok's a bit like you just put whatever you want on there, and even the most random stuff can get like over 100,000 views, and you're like, I have no idea what happened, and it can be anything. So I don't really get it.
But it works.
I don't know what makes people view such random things. Like I put a TikTok on there of just filling up my Disney Resort mug.
Right.
It's like a 4-second video, and it got so many views. And I don't really get it, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, nice. Oh, at least it's going well. That's the main thing. Like, and then anything with social media, like if you're enjoying it, then it's good. And like the moment it becomes a bit of a chore, like I get it. Exactly. Having done Instagrams over the years of like different pages and stuff, like sometimes it can really become a bit of a content slog. That would be probably fair to say. So if you're enjoying it, it's great. That is really good. And I suppose getting into Orlando then. When was the first trip that you had to Orlando then?
I first went as a child in 2000.
Okay.
So I was 6.5 when I went there. So that was a big family trip, stayed in a villa, did all the Disney parks, Universal, SeaWorld. I didn't really like rides as a child. Yeah. So the good memories for me were like the parades and the shows.
Yeah, I love that.
I also loved animals. I still do. So Animal Kingdom was my favorite park, and it still is, which I know is slightly controversial these days. But
I found a few Animal Kingdom lovers on this page. So
I didn't even realize that was a controversial opinion until recently, but everyone seems to like not think it's that great and say it's a half day park. I think you're one of those, aren't you?
I have not gone there that much
Okay.
because of this. Yeah. However, I need to go. I'm at the point I'm like, I haven't been there for a few years. I need to go. I know I'm gonna love it. And also the fact that I'm a little bit older, I think I appreciate it more. Because I had this with Epcot as well. So
yeah.
I think as I've grown up, I'll appreciate it in a different way.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not got many rides. So I think like people that just go to just do all the rides probably think it's a half day park because you can soon get all those done. But for me, it's just everything else. I just really like the vibes there.
Yeah, definitely.
And as a child, another really controversial one, SeaWorld was my other favorite park.
Okay. To be fair, like I do actually rate it as a park. I'll be honest with you, I try not to talk about it loads.
Yeah.
And the reason why, like, I rate the park and I think it is a good park. I try not to talk about it too much because I don't want to define opinion.
No, of course.
So, I don't, I don't want people to come at me and be like, oh, you should go there. I'm like, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
I want to go there to go on the rides and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So, so as a child, especially like back then, I think people didn't really talk about the issues there either. In 2000. So, and especially as a child, you don't really think about that anyway. So I really liked that one as well. But yeah, I really didn't like the rides at all. So it was like, I didn't love the holiday, which I know is really weird to say.
But you were young as well, so that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, I think like, my dad tried to get me on all the rides, so there was a lot of like tantrums, and I just wanted to watch the shows and see the characters and watch fireworks. That's all I kind of wanted from that holiday. And I think, which is fair enough now as an adult, I can see that like my mum and dad were just thinking, they've paid a lot of money for this holiday. They want you to get everything out of it. Yeah. They're also probably thinking you'll enjoy all these rides. So they didn't see why I wouldn't go on anything. But yeah, I just didn't go on anything at all. And then I next went, again, a family holiday in 2003.
Did you start going on more rides at that point? Were you a bit more into them? You decided I'm not into them. I'm here for the parades and I want to meet some characters. And love that. I mean, that's fair enough though. Like, because, and I know I've said this before, definitely, but Disney especially, like there is so much to see, and they do cater for everyone, which is great. Which is which is what it's all about, isn't it? Where do you stand on rides nowadays then?
I'm a bit of a weird one.
Okay.
So there's things that I'll go on, there's things that I won't. I'll go on roller coasters as long as there's not a huge steep drop in them. I don't mind going upside down or doing like corkscrews or anything like that. So like Alton Towers, like I'll go on the Smiler and Nemesis.
Okay. Yeah, some pretty big rides still though. Yeah.
yeah, but I won't go on Oblivion. Or so it's a bit strange. A lot of people say to me they just can't work out like why.
No, I get it a bit because it like that. So I'm assuming like drop towers are a no.
No,
that kind of thing. Yeah, anything with big drops and like, I understand that.
So my first trip in 2000, I went on the Tower of Terror, and I think that's what made my fear of rides.
It scarred you. Yeah.
Yes, and I've not been on it since.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
I have not gone on it since. And I hated it. Like, and I went on there like it was my own will. I wanted to go on there with my family, and soon regretted it. And I remember, isn't there like, do you go through like a boiler room type thing? Yeah, in the queue.
Yeah.
And I remember standing in there thinking, it's quite spooky in here. I'm not sure I'm going to like this ride. And I remember saying to my mum, I don't want to go on this anymore. And my mum was like, oh, but we're here now. Like, you got to go on it now. So I went on it and I just screamed the whole thing. Like the ride photo, my mum has still got it and you can't even see me because I'm like in my mum's lap, like right. So I think that's what started it off. With my weird fear of rides.
To be fair, I think it's fairly normal. To be honest with you, like, it like, and especially in terms of like having experiences from when you were younger, I think it like it almost does scar you a little bit, because you're like,
Yeah.
well, I've decided I don't like this. And to be fair, like like with anything, like you might go on something and go, oh, if you went on Terra now, you might be like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, I
But
probably would.
it's the getting on there, and it's like, but I don't want to go on it. Yeah. So I totally feel you. I suppose that moves us on quite nicely to you went on a trip with your daughter Orla this year, didn't you?
Yes.
So she would have been very young. So was she 2 at the time?
It was just before she turned 2.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Nice. So she was obviously younger than when you went on your first trip. How was the trip, first and foremost?
It was harder than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't naive to the fact that it was going to be difficult, and also the fact that, you know, I've been used to going as an adult so many times, and, you know, doing what I wanted to do and not having to think about someone else. So there was that element, but also just how hard it is with a child of that age, and the tantrums and the heat and the, you know, the tiredness. And it was harder than I thought it was going to be, but it was still magical.
Yeah.
There was still some moments, you know, that will live with me forever. Like, even though she's not going to remember it, I will. So it you know, a lot of people think it's, you know, she was too young and it's kind of a waste of money because she's not going to remember any of it. But I think differently to that.
Yeah,
because I've got those memories.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, the trip is still for you as well.
Yeah.
Like ultimately, you have a lovely trip with your daughter at a young age, and ultimately you can only go with your daughter at that age once in that respect. So, like, you know, obviously I'm sure you've got other trips in the future, and but she'll be a different age and it'll be a different experience again, won't it?
And it was really magical. Like, she loved the characters. So tried to, because I don't really see that many characters as an adult. I might go and see Mickey Mouse, but I'm not really bothered about, I don't see the princesses or anything like that. But with Orla, it was a different type of holiday. Like, she loved all the characters. So
that's amazing.
It was like a main thing that we did, queuing up for the characters. And her face just lit up, and it was like, some of the videos I've got are just, for me, like, just amazing.
Like you said, magical.
Really magical. And it's those that made all the difficult parts, because it was a difficult trip, but it made it all better, all of those moments. How did you find the flight? Because I appreciate a lot. I've never flown with a young child, but obviously it's a long flight for us as adults. So but did you find it okay? You know what, not too bad. She was really, like, well behaved. She didn't sleep much. I thought she would sleep more. I purposely booked the late Virgin flight from Heathrow, so I think it was like 3 or half 3 that takes off in the afternoon. So I purposely booked that rather than the morning one, because I thought, you know, I've only got about 3 hours until she'd be going to bed at home. So I thought, she'll be tired, she'll go to sleep. She did not.
It's a great theory. Like, to be fair, is understandable.
I was just thinking I should have just booked the early flight. I would normally always go for an earlier flight, but so that didn't work. But she was fine. I did a lot of research before I went, because I was really worried about the flight. That was the main thing that I was worried about. I did a lot of research. I took loads of snacks, because everyone was like, just take loads of snacks,
just to almost keep her busy, like, as much as anything.
Exactly. Loads of, like, new toys, but only like little, like, you know, from Poundland, little fidgety things that she's not seen before. So it was just different. Brought her iPad with us, though she didn't want her iPad at all. Even though at home she would have it all day, every day, but I don't let her. Where on the flight, when I was kind of encouraging her to watch something on the iPad, she did not want it at all. She did not watch anything. So that was quite frustrating. I think the biggest thing I'll take away from it is that they're just so unpredictable, toddlers. Like, you just don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know how they're going to be like. The things that she did play with were stickers. She just liked putting them all over the seat, and obviously I took them off before we got off the plane. I didn't leave them. So she loved doing that, and then she just played with the seatbelt of the seat.
Brilliant.
So all these toys that I bought, like she was not interested.
Just wanted this seatbelt. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Snacks.
Yeah.
She didn't really eat many snacks either. She just kind of sat there playing with this seatbelt.
Nice.
But you know, she was quite chilled, so that was fine. She just didn't sleep that much. She fell asleep like an hour and a half before landing.
Yeah, which is not supposed to be any typical.
Yeah,
then you got to wake her up.
So it was quite tiring because of that. But no, it went fine. And on the way back, she slept most of it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, the flights were absolutely fine.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Where did you stay in Orlando for your?
We stayed at Pop Century.
All right, lovely. Have you stayed there before?
No. So that was the first time. Picked there. I knew I wanted to stay on site because I thought it would be better for Orla, and I wanted the Skyliner.
Yeah, so just ease of
the pram straight on there.
Oh right, yeah, nice.
With the buses, you've got to fold them up.
Yeah, so just been able to kind of go on and off with the pram. Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
So I ideally wanted the Skyliner, and Pop kind of fit into the budget as well because it's one of the cheaper resorts as well.
Yeah. How was the resort? It looks lovely, and I see a lot of people going there as well.
It was really nice, really good. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, it's certainly on my list. It's certainly on my list of ones I want to do because I've seen it, you know, a lot of times, and it looks like a good place. And like you said, being on the Skyliner route as well seems to be a good place for ease of access for sure. Did you get up to any activities kind of outside of the parks at all? And I appreciate might have been more difficult staying on site.
Yeah, the only thing we did off site was Kennedy Space Center, which isn't ideal for young children. It was fine. No. All was fine. There is actually a big play area there, so that's good. That was mainly because my boyfriend wanted to visit and he's never been before. I'd never been before either. So I thought, yeah, we'll do that for a day. So we went over there. We hired a car for part of our trip. So we hired a car for a week and we were there for 12 days.
Yeah.
So we drove over
out
there.
Quite well for that. Yeah. Enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was really good. Really good.
Yeah. It's a good day out, isn't it? And to be fair, there's a lot there to see actually.
Yes. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a bit like being on a school trip. But no, I
know so what you mean as well.
No, I did really enjoy it. And like I say, it's probably not the best place for a 2-year-old, but she did go in the play area and she was fine. So I would recommend it.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So you obviously that was this year's trip. Have you got a next trip lined up?
Yes. So going back in September.
Amazing. No, not even long at all. We're like How many days is it? What's the countdown?
I think it's 50, like 51 or something like that.
Yeah, under 50. I mean, I've always said under 50, and you're like, it's basically there. You're like, amazing.
Exactly.
Cool. So where is it you're staying? What's the details?
So that one, it's just me and my partner. My daughter's with her dad.
Nice.
During that time. So, and because we didn't go to Universal on the trip in April, because Orla wouldn't have been able to do anything, it just seemed like a lot of money to spend when me and my boyfriend wouldn't have been able to do anything together. So we didn't do Universal in April. So we're going back in September. It's mainly a Universal trip.
Awesome. Love that.
Staying at Endless Summer Dockside.
Yeah. Cool.
Not stayed there before, but I know it gets really, really good reviews.
Yeah, great reviews again. Nice.
And it's a good price as well. It is a really good value.
Yeah, it certainly is. It is well priced. Yeah. So by the look of it.
Staying there, and then we'd do it. So we're going for 9 nights, so a bit of a shorter one, and we're doing 1 night at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
Nice.
So nice. It's just so much money when you want to do all the parks, especially when you're only going for, if you're going for less than 2 weeks, especially, it's just so much money, isn't it, getting all the park
Yeah.
tickets. So we're concentrating on Universal and then just doing a bit of Disney.
Yeah, nice. Sounds like a good trip. Sounds exciting. I'm excited
Yes.
for you, and obviously looking forward to seeing any pictures and videos and content you put up around.
Yeah, I am looking
the
forward to it.
socials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That'd be really good. Is this? How many times have you been with your boyfriend to Orlando?
So in April was our first trip.
Cool.
together.
Nice. Right. So
We
yeah.
We went to Disneyland, California last year.
Awesome.
And Vegas.
Yeah.
And then obviously going to Orlando in September. So it will
Yeah.
be his second trip with me, but he did go as a child.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'd be obviously fantastic for you to go and experience, especially like Universal together for your kind of first time getting there together as well, which I think would be really cool. Yeah. Excited for you on that one. I suppose kind of getting into like must do's. Is there any must do's you've got to do for your next trip that you've like kind of got on the list of stuff you've got locked in? You got to do.
I've still not done Hagrid's.
Okay.
So I haven't been to Universal since 2019, and I missed the opening by about 2 weeks. So frustrating.
Oh, that's so annoying.
So I haven't been back to Universal. I've just done Disney since then.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm really excited because I haven't been in so long, and yeah, I need to do Hagrid's. Velocicoaster is far too hardcore for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But he'll do it. So he'll have to go by himself though. But yeah.
But to be fair, there's been a few updates. I think since 19, if you've got Hagrid's in Islands of Adventure, you'd have had obviously Velocicoaster as well. Mm-hmm. I suppose in Studios there's probably been a couple of updates as well with like I don't know, like the Bourne Stuntacular.
Bourne, yes. Yeah, I haven't done that, which I'm looking forward to.
Obviously, as you would have heard of me in the podcast, I rave about it. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
I just and you'll see when you do it. It just so different. And that's the unique experiences and what kind of like what it's all about, isn't it? That, and then I think you got like Minions Villain Con Blast thing, which is like good fun as well. So you got a few new things to do, which is quite exciting to go and have a little look around the parks at all the new stuff, and obviously I'm sure new foods and eats and stuff like that. Is there any stuff outside the parks you've got planned in as well, or are you just going to kind of stick to Universal and your Mickey's Not So Scary as well?
We might be going to see NFL.
Okay.
So Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have seen them before. We're both really into NFL, and we've been to like the Wembley games here.
Okay, awesome.
But I went with my ex-husband when I went to see Bucks. So we are thinking about getting tickets for that because they are playing at home while we're over there.
Yeah, well, that'd be really cool. That'd be wicked if you do it. How was it when you went to it before? Like, because I know I've spoken to people about these like American sports events, and everyone speaks so highly.
Oh, it was amazing. The atmosphere is just amazing. But I think that's just the American style. Like, I've been to Orlando City football.
Okay.
I've been to that about 3 or 4 times on previous trips. And it's nothing like going to see football here. Like, it is completely different. The atmosphere, like, they're all so happy. I think, like, especially with our sport, we're so passionate and quite angry about it.
I know what you mean.
It's just different. I mean, they're too busy singing and dancing to either. They're not even really watching the game. They're like facing the opposite way, just trying to get the crowd going all the time. So it's just the atmosphere is just crazy. I just love it. I love that atmosphere.
I to be fair, that's one of the things that looks really it looks like a family thing to go and do as much as anything as well, and like a fun activity. And like you said, like going to like a football game in England is 80% of the crowd hurling abuse players and referee for 90 minutes, opposed to in America I think it's a show as much as
100%.
It's a performance.
It's more of a day out. Like, they're just not that passionate about it. Like, if they lose, I get the impression that it doesn't like ruin their day or anything. Like, where
in this country it's days ruined, like people 100%. Are just losing their mind. Oh, fantastic. Well, hopefully you do go and see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'd be wicked.
Yeah.
It's a nice stadium as well. Like
Yeah.
I'm totally random that I know this, but like the stadium looks wicked.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Nice. Oh, that'd be exciting. Exciting. I've got like a new bit of a new feature for the podcast, which is keep update close. I don't know if you've heard this over the past couple of weeks. So I've given you 3 options. Whether or not they're 3 good options, they are totally random. So whether or not you go on them, I don't know either.
Okay.
And the 3 rides I gave you, went for a Disney theme as well.
Yeah.
I went for Spaceship Earth, Star Tours, or Pirates of the Caribbean. Which way you going?
Keep Pirates.
Yeah, nice.
That's just a classic.
Yeah, gotta stay.
Yeah, definitely don't close it. I don't think it particularly needs updating. So yeah, keep that. Update Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, okay.
Which I know it's been in the works for a while, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So update that. I mean, it's not one of my favourites, but I just see that as a bit of a chill, like an aircon.
Yeah, for like 20 minutes.
Maybe even a nap.
Yeah. A nap, to be fair, I think quite a lot of people do, because it's fairly dark and like just get out the sun.
Nice
for
and
a bit.
Cold. Yeah. And close Star Tours. I feel a bit sick coming off that, and it's just not one of my favourites. So I wouldn't miss it. I haven't done it for a while.
To be fair, it's always quiet. I think I've gone on it, and there's been about 3 people in the whole ride. So like, okay, and the park's been rammed at this point as well. I'm like, it's still quiet. Yeah, it ultimately, I think it's an old ride, isn't it?
Yeah,
it might be close to having its time. If it weren't a Star Wars ride, I think it's already gone.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's got a Star Wars IP attached to it. That's why it's kind of clung on.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. Good shout. I think, like you said, Pirates Caribbean it'll be there forever. It's got to be. I think there'll be riots.
Oh, 100% if they did anything to that.
Yeah. It's just one of those rides. It's an absolute classic. It's always I could do it over and over and over, that ride. I love it. It. And to be fair, like, where you've been from a young age as well, did you go on that at all when you were younger?
I probably did, but I don't have any
like kind of
memories really. So I don't really have nostalgia from it. I probably did do it, but yeah, I just think it's one of them rides that you've just got to do.
Agreed. Yeah,
it's classic.
Yeah, I think everyone likes Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's kind of stood the test, and it's just a classic. Kind of talking about rides, as ever, I've got my kind of 5 main questions that I go to for every guest, and we'll kick it off with, what is your favorite ride? Favorite ride anywhere as well, anywhere in Orlando, so any park.
Favorite ride is Flight of Passage.
Nice. Okay.
Which is a lot of people's favorite ride.
Yeah.
But honorary mention to Guardians.
Yeah, okay.
But the reason why Guardians isn't my favourite is because I just remember the first time I went on Flight of Passage and coming off, and I was just like, oh my God, that was unreal.
Yeah.
Like, that is just so good. And I didn't get that same feeling for Guardians. I thought it was amazing, but just not like take your breath away amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, to be fair, like that first ride, I think with any ride, like almost sets you up for your perception of it for forever.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've had a good experience on it, or like, you're in the right space for it to kind of just blow your mind, then yeah.
Well, the only thing that lets it down is the queue, the pre-show. Oh my God, that pre-show.
Yeah,
it's so long. And I would pay just to skip that part. Like, it's the worst. But so's Guardians. Guardians pre-show irritates me as well.
Yeah, and like, to be fair, like I enjoy them, but like at the same time, I know what you mean. Like every time, I'm like, I've got to go for it again.
The first couple of times, but when
you're fully immersed, and
when you've been on it so many times, you're like, oh God, I can't listen to this anymore.
Because you want to go on the ride as much as anything, not be in the pre-show. So like, I think that's a good shout. I like that. What song did you get on Guardians on the first time? Just intrigued.
My very first time was Iran.
A lot of people want Iran, to be fair. It's like,
Really?
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I've spoken to so many people that they probably said everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, nice. Have you had a favorite?
My favourite's Disco Inferno.
Cool.
I've
Yeah,
had them all apart from One Way or Another. That's the only one
right.
I've not had.
Nice. I think to be fair, I haven't had Disco Inferno, but I reckon it'll be wicked.
What's your
I'm like,
favourite?
mine's September.
Oh yeah,
I
that
yeah,
would be my second favourite.
yeah, I'm in the September crew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
definitely.
is good. That is
Yeah,
good.
I think we've touched on it, but we'll get into it a bit more. But what's your favorite park then?
Animal Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
It always has been, and yeah, I mean that probably is a nostalgia thing, but nothing really comes close to it. Like I just think like the feeling you get when you in your favorite park, it's just different, and it's a park that I could just walk around and not do any rides, just soak up the
Yeah,
atmosphere.
just
And
just like I know exactly what you mean though. Like, and this I think for me comes from being slightly older now as well. That I
yeah,
can go somewhere and just appreciate it and
yeah,
just like love being there. And suddenly you get there and you feel relaxed and you're just like, I'm so happy to just be in this park,
yeah,
just walking around, get some food, get some drinks or whatever, go on a ride every couple of hours if you're up for it, but
mhm,
no pressure because you've done them before or, just not too bothered. I love it.
yeah.
I mean, that's such a shout.
And Disneyland and California Adventure over in
Yeah,
California, they're incredible as well. So they'd be up there.
nice.
I'm not sure what order I'd put them in, but
Yeah,
they're amazing parks.
I've got to get over there. That's
You do.
that is
Hmm.
it's again, it's on the list. There's a lot on the list at the moment. The
Yeah,
list is
yeah,
ever growing, but
yeah.
that is so high on the list of stuff to go and do. Going on a tangent off of that, have you got like a favorite thing that you've done in California? Just to be just intrigued.
What in the Disney parks?
Yeah.
You mean?
I know I'm totally putting you on the spot here as well, so sorry.
That's all right. So, favorite ride would be the Cars ride
Okay, yeah,
in California Adventure. Always has a massive queue, but it's worth it. Really, really
yeah.
good. In Disneyland, I not a ride, but I absolutely love the parade. The parade is so good. I think it's called Magic Happens,
Okay,
and it is like the best parade ever.
right.
Like
Just a step above
100%.
like any of the other ones.
Yeah, yeah, that is so good. But I really like Pirates in Disneyland as well. I like their Haunted Mansion. I just think it's such a nice park.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so good.
nice. Have you got any trips there planned at all as well, or you just
No, no,
not at the moment?
it's definitely somewhere I'll go back to.
Yeah, but
Because I
not
love
imminent.
Las Vegas as well, so I'd like tie it in with going there.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, no plans at the moment.
Cool. Kind of heading back to Orlando. This is one of my favorite questions as well. What's your hidden gem? Hidden gem in an Orlando, the whole of Orlando, as much as anything.
Again, not a ride,
Okay.
but in Epcot, the Voices of Liberty that they do in the American Pavilion.
Okay. I haven't done this, to be fair.
Oh, so it's in like the main building of the American Pavilion, and
Yeah.
it's just amazing. They're singers,
Okay. Yeah.
but they're like Broadway style, like fantastic singers.
Yeah. Love that.
And they do a mixture of kind of, I don't know what you call these kind of songs, but like American, like patriotic songs,
Okay. Yeah.
and also Disney songs.
That sounds good fun, to be fair.
Really good. If you like, especially if you like, like theatre and things like that,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you'd really enjoy it. But it's also a nice chill. It's nice and aircon in there. You can just sit down and just see them perform.
No. How often is this on per day? Is this on like a couple of times a day?
A few times a day. Yeah, there's a sign outside the building and it says all the times that they're performing.
Yeah.
Nice. So it's just a nice one. Yeah, and it gets you out the sun and the heat as well.
Yeah. I mean that's a shout because like genuinely I'd never heard of it, which is bizarre because obviously I've been in Epcot and I expect I'm just probably, to be fair, I think by the time I get to the USA Pavilion, I think I'm probably
Mm.
like done with World Showcase. Probably at that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of like walking through at this point after I've spent loads of time with the previous
Yeah.
ones. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, nice. I think that's a good shout. Good shout. I'll add it to the list next
Yeah.
time. Next
Yeah.
time I'm in Epcot. To be fair, like because that'll be totally up my street. So I love
Yeah.
love like musical theatre and stuff. So
Mhm.
all over that. That'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Me and my
It
partner will
is so good.
enjoy
I
that a
mean,
lot.
people that aren't into musical theatre or singers and performers, they'll probably just find it a little boring. But if you are, and if you can appreciate like their voices and that, it's
Yeah.
just I think it's really good.
Good shout. I'll definitely do it. And going from underrated or like hidden gem to what's your most overrated attraction then?
My overrated would be Soaring.
Okay, all right.
What?
It's a little bit maybe controversial.
I know it is. I do like it. I just don't think it. I don't know. I don't like that it highly depends on where you're sat.
Yeah,
The bendy Eiffel Tower and all that.
Yeah.
I just think they could improve it
Yeah.
surely to where that's not an issue.
Yeah, I do agree. And to be fair, I absolutely, and it's not often I will, but I will completely back you on this because I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's nice. I like the music, it feels really like Disney and I like the concept of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It makes me think that it's just a bit naff if you're in a bad seat and everything's distorted and bendy, it just doesn't give you the impression that you're actually like
you're then at this point you're not immersed because you're thinking about it immediately. You're just thinking like, well, that doesn't look great.
And like the dangly feet and stuff. I know they probably can't do much about that, but it's just comparing it to Flight of Passage, where it really does feel like you are on the back of a banshee. There's just no comparison.
Yeah, I do agree. And to be fair, and I've said this before, that Disney rides get super hype. And like every ride will have all of its kind of like stands behind it. They're all like, this is the best thing ever. And Soarin' gets that a lot, I think, in fairness. So I completely agree and understand your point. They're like, there are aspects of it that are not the best. Let's be real. Nice.
Come to me for that, but
if they do, they're like, let them come via me. It's fine.
I said what I said.
And I agreed, so I backed it up. So, and I suppose my final question is what is your best thing to do outside of the parks in Orlando?
Well, I've got a few things really. So we've already touched on like the sporting events. That probably would be my number one because they are just so fun. So either football or American football. I've seen basketball in New York, which obviously you can see in Orlando as well, but I've not personally done that. But I would do because that was great fun in New York.
Yeah.
So sporting events. I've done an airboat ride, which was really, really good. I know you've done them, haven't you?
Big fan.
Yeah.
Which one did you do as well? Do you know which one it was?
Yeah, Spirit of the Swamp.
Okay. Not one I've done, to be fair.
Yeah, it was highly recommended online, and I'd not heard of that one before. But yeah, that was really, really good. I think it's in Kissimmee or near Kissimmee.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. And then just like shopping, like the outlets. I know a lot of people just do that, like the malls, the outlets, even a trip to Walmart.
Love a bit of shopping. Love a bit of shopping in Orlando. Exactly. Do that even better when you find a bargain as well. Yeah. All about it. Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate like the shopping maybe wasn't what it used to be, but like it's still to be fair, I've literally just recorded an episode this morning about like things to do on rest days, and one of my main one is shopping. And like it doesn't even matter that 10 years ago it was cheaper. Like it's still cheaper there now than what it is in the UK.
It is. And you can still get some bargains. It's not like I remember going as a kid and like we would all come back with new clothes, new we'd all get trainers all the time. And it's not like the $2 to £1
No, but
behind. No.
still good, still good. And to be fair, you can get some good branded deals as much as anything, can't you? If you
Yeah.
have a little bit of a shop around, so to speak.
Yeah.
And like you said, a
Yeah,
Walmart trip
exactly.
is always good fun. Love
Yeah.
it.
The prices there are a bit crazy, but
Yeah, like
it's like,
mad.
yeah. But when you're on holiday, you don't really like have those like senses kind of go, don't they? And you
Yeah.
don't really
Oh,
think about it.
we
And
just
then you're
kind of
like,
lose our minds.
wow, I've spent £7 on some cereal or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, we just like we lose it. We get in
Yeah.
Walmart and we're just like, yeah, I gotta have that, and I gotta have that, and I gotta have that. And like you get to the till, it's $100, and I'm like,
Yeah.
get back to the
So
room, and
easily done.
you just kind of like, I don't know, I've done it before. You like put it on the bed to just kind of like see what you've got, and you're like, I haven't even bought that much. Really,
No,
I've got like 3 packs
exactly.
of Oreos and some crisps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, love it. I love it. But we keep doing it, and we'll keep
Mhm.
doing it
Of
inevitably.
course. Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. This was so much fun. So much fun. I love hearing about like like your trips, your
Yeah.
future plans as well.
Mhm.
Really exciting, and obviously really exciting for future trips that you do with Orla as well. That
Yeah. Yeah.
you're gonna kind of like relive your memories from when you were younger as much as anything through Orla, but in a different way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
thinking 2026 I'll take her
Nice.
again. So a couple of years.
Yeah. Which would
Hopefully
be
it'll be
really
that
cool.
bit easier.
Yeah.
So I'm planning on taking her when she'll be 4.
Yeah.
Still young, but I think hopefully it'll be that bit easier.
Yeah, I think to be fair, at 4, I think that's an age where you do genuinely start to remember stuff
Mm,
more clearly as well. And I know I've talked about this as well. I went when I was 5, and I still remember aspects of it,
yeah.
and I always will. And it's obviously what sparked me
Hmm.
wanting to keep going back to an extent as well. Yeah, really exciting, really exciting
Yeah.
to see more of your trips coming up as well.
Thank you.
No, that's all right. Oh, obviously, like I said, this has been such a pleasure. Like genuinely, it's been great talking to you. I've wanted to talk to you for so long.
Oh, thanks. I
Um,
really enjoyed it.
yeah, and obviously, you know, I appreciate you supporting the podcast and watching the and listening to the podcast as well. So
Yeah,
we'll
no problem.
definitely have to have you on again at some point to
Yes,
hear
I'd love
about
that.
future trips. That'd be really cool. Really
That
cool.
would. That'd be great.
Yeah. So once again, thank you so much to Sarah for coming onto the podcast. It was a genuine pleasure. I loved chatting with her. She was fantastic to talk to, and it was really great to find out about her previous trips when she was younger with her daughter Orla, and her future trips coming up as well. It's really exciting times, and obviously a lot of trips potentially lined up for the future, and I can't wait to see all about it. So thank you once again. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and I will speak to you all in the next one.